only one contractor replied. We only received one bid, and the bid came in approximately 17% over what we thought the estimate was going to be. So Engineer Huss reached out to all of the contractors that were, about 8 contractors, was it, Engineer?
8 contractors picked up the bid documents.
Right.
Quote unquote interested parties. Admittedly, one of them was Gallagher Asphalt, who does not do water main work. But 7 is still a very generous cross-section of contractors that
Right.
call it a good response. With receiving one not completely unacceptable bid, I did email the contractors that picked up but did not respond. I did receive, 3 of them took the time to respond back. Ductile iron pipe in particular is a pretty hard to get item, both if you can get your hands on it and by price. Some others were staffing issues, equipment issues, timeline of the construction season. That input, as I alluded to in the email,
Right.
In normal circumstances, if we had 4 bidders and they were all high, we might entertain a rebid. There's not really anything pointing me in the direction of that rebidding would gather better results.
Right.
And admittedly, with the timing of just how the economy is here, the real time, there's no real way to gauge the real time cost increases day to day or month to month. So the actual overage is more likely less than 17% than greater than. So that was my take on it. It is over 10% the engineer's estimate. The board has the right to reject, but as I kind of just said, nothing's really firmly pointing me and saying, okay, if we do it again, we're going to get different results.
Right, exactly. So we wanted to bring this up to the board. Superintendent Sperry is asking that this bid be put on our agenda for next week for approval. So we wanted to follow our best practice and bring it up for discussion tonight. This bid just came in. We just received the information this morning, so that's why it's not on our agenda. But this was shared with the whole entire board. And I would agree with Engineer Huss that if we sent this out to bid again, the results most likely will not be any better. And given the state of the economy all over the whole world that we all know of, materials are going to be very difficult to come by. So the longer we wait, if we were to go to bid again, we would run the risk of, a further price increase, or the possibility of materials not even being available to us. So.
And we did reach out to the contractor, he would have the materials available in 6 to 8 weeks.
Right, exactly. They will be available.
And I did, once Superintendent Sperry and I talked this morning, I did talk to the bidder, the one that did bid, on top of what Superintendent Sperry just said. He also committed to getting the project done this year.
Very good. So I just wanted to bring that up for discussion and ask the board if anybody had any problems or questions or issues or concerns with the email that we received today. Okay, very good.
What was the total cost to us?
Our estimate was $511,000. The bid came in at $598,000. I did look at the bid very closely, and 60% of the overage is just in the 8-inch water main. So the rest of the bid was very in line with what we expected it to be, and that kind of tracks with it. Just nobody can get their hands on pipe right now, and if they can, they have to pay a premium for it.
And this is 147th from Cicero to
Kilpatrick.
Okay.
And that's a critical water main. It's been causing trouble for at least a couple of years. If you look at it down 147th, you'll see it's dug up almost every season 2 or 3 times. Right? So it's got to be done.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks. The other item I have on here is to approval to engage Grand Surveying Services to prepare the CRS elevation certificate for the Village Hall and Public Works Building, and then possibly a LOMAR at a cost not to exceed $1,150 per building. Attached to the agenda is the same documents that were on last week's agenda, plus an additional clarification. The elevation certificates actually are $800 a piece per building. Once those elevation certificates are completed, the surveyor will review them with us, and if it appears that the buildings are are above the base flood elevation and that we would be successful in getting a LOMA from FEMA, then we could pay the additional funds to have the LOMA documentation completed and submitted to FEMA. So elevation certificate, I used the wrong term last week. I just didn't want an elevation certificate. The purpose of the elevation certificate is then to go on and get a LOMA, which means letter of map amendment. And that's where you submit your elevation certificate and a bunch of other paperwork to FEMA and request that the building be removed from the floodplain because it's above the base flood elevation, and if it doesn't have a basement, then it's not at risk of flooding. So, but the first step is to get the elevation certificate, which is $800, and then the LOMA paperwork is quite extensive. That's where the other $300 or $400 comes in. So, I'm making a motion to approve to engage Granite Survey Services to prepare the elevation certificates and possibly LOMA documentation for the Village Hall and Public Works building at a cost not to exceed $1,150 per building.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Kat, this is the same guy that we talked to before in Oak Forest, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Granite.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Caveny?
Aye.
Trustee Crowley?
Aye.
Trustee Burbit?
Aye.
Trustee Hilly? I'm sorry, Trustee Johnson?
Aye.
Trustee Kilby?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
My last thing, I wanted to give everyone an update at about 14730 Costner. The property has been cleaned. Rat traps had been set and taken care of. The abandoned pickup truck is still there, and the police department are taking care of it. There are certain steps the police department has to take. They're required to send notice to the owner and do some other things in order to have an abandoned vehicle removed, and they've already started that process. So I just wanted to give everyone
Have you
that
driven
update.
by it yet? How does it look?
I drove by it today, and it's clean, and the grass is short. So the property's been cleaned up. And the building department also had their, like 2 sizable sheds in the back, and both of those have been boarded up. So that the property has been secured. Attorney Valadez, have you gotten an update from Attorney Sharrow with regards to the demo case for this property?
I believe she's working with the building superintendent to get the requisite affidavits and information to draft a complaint.
Okay, very good. And that's all I have at the
Thank you,
moment.
ma'am. Trustee Kilby.
Thank you, Mayor. 2 things. One is, again, we'd like to remind everybody about the garden walk, July 17th in Midlothian. We're putting out a call to all the gardeners who are doing a lot of work right now on their gardens, and they're making them look really pretty, and they're gonna make sure that they look great for the season. And July is a great time for gardens. Everything's blooming. And we want to give them a bonus, the bonus of having people come to their house and look at their gardens and their landscape and admire what they've done and the skill that it's taken. It's really a great thing. Many of the people that we've had on our garden walks that have shown their gardens have done it 2 or 3 times because they just enjoy it so much. People asking them questions about how they did something or admiring the beauty of something they didn't think was a big deal, but it was a big deal to them. So again, the form for the to fill out if you want to participate in the garden walk is on the village website, and it's also at Village Hall. So the deadline is approaching by the end of June if you want to participate. Well, why not if you're putting in all that hard work, why not get a little enjoyment out of it and have a good time on Sunday, July 17th. Secondly, the mayor asked about those spiky things in the garden boxes.
Yes.
And they're gone. They're gone. New grasses have been planted.
Okay.
And the grasses are gonna look really pretty. They're gonna be feathery, they're gonna be colorful, and they are annuals. We got that cleared up, so we're gonna have to plant them every year. The perennial ones are very expensive, so at least for right now, we're gonna have to stick with the program. But between the flowers, which are doing excellent, and the grasses, we'll have some good-looking boxes in a few weeks. And
It was a valiant effort. to get?
Well, we thought we had perennials, but we didn't.
Okay.
So we'll have some really, really sharp looking boxes very soon.
Okay,
And thank you so much, and that's all I have.
thank you, sir. Trustee Crowley.
Thank you, sir. Just a couple things tonight. First, I received the draft draft ordinance for noise from Attorney Valadez. Thank you. Chief Delaney and I will be going over it this week and making any additional recommendations before we bring it to the board. Hopefully by next week, we'll have something to show to the board for your review and additions. We also had the engineer come out to assess Public Works, Fire Department, and Front Office for the wireless access point. I'll be bringing that to the board. I do have the quote, I just received it. I'll be bringing that to the board shortly. Trustee Burbett's gonna work with that on me, so thanks, trustee. Our budget, Trustee Killaway and I have been working on the village, with Maggie, our treasurer, on the village budget. We hope to have, everyone's been reviewing it, we hope to have the final draft on the agenda for discussion next week, so please make sure if you have any questions. Our goal is to approve it at the following board meeting. So I think we're pretty much there. What we should say, I think we're 99% there. But if you have any questions or changes, it has to be done by Friday or forever hold your peace. Trustee Killelly pulled off the water this evening. We are gonna bring that back up for a vote in 2 weeks after our finance committee meeting. So if anybody was wondering that, that's what we're doing. The parade, village parade, we are on track to have one of our largest years ever with participants. So there is still a couple weeks left. If you're interested in participating, please put in a form. Thank you to Front Office Manager Harris. She created the fillable form on the village website this year, something we're trying to do a lot of. It's very simple. I was able to do it on my phone in less than 60 seconds. So it's no copying, pasting, emailing, texting. Just fill out your information and submit. And Jack has been working really hard on that. So thank you, Jackie. I appreciate it. National Night Out is August 2nd. We are in the process of preparing another wonderful National Night Out. Please help get the word out. Talk to people, tell your neighbors. If they're not on social media, if they don't go on our website, things like that, please make sure everybody knows. It's gonna be a lot of fun for the kids and the adults. So we're excited about that. Attorney Valadez, do you have any update on the PIN consolidation? You were gonna talk to
Mr. Murphy,
Mr. Murphy. He sent an email, I responded, and I haven't heard of what we're doing yet.
I will inquire.
Thank you. And a bit of real exciting news. I think we made the final choice for the new PD brick today. Yay. So it's official. It's official. We have brick colors. So I am very excited.
We're going with brick now, not precast?
For the love of God.
Mayor, is it in the cloud or on the
Hey,
cloud?
both of you are done. Yes, we have brick, so really excited to move forward. Please keep watching our Facebook page and the PD's Facebook page, and watch the corner of Claire and Pulaski for the building starting to go up really soon, I hope. And that's all I have this evening, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to department heads, Chief Hotwagner.
I have nothing tonight, sir.
Thank you, sir. How's the remodels doing well? Almost done, right?
What's that?
Remodels done?
Remodel's done at the station. That's very nice.
Smells clean
Smells
and healthy?
Nice air conditioning. You can hear yourself, talk to yourself, or whatever. Yeah, great.
Keep an eye on those drip pans.
Yeah.
All right.
Trustee Crowley handled everything very eloquently, sir, so I have nothing additional.
Thank you, Chief. Superintendent Weinert.
Nothing, sir.
Thank you, sir. Superintendent Sperry.
Nothing tonight, sir?
Thank you, sir. Engineer Huss.
Mayor, the only other thing I'd like to report is a half hour prior to opening the water main bids. We did open bids for the village's paving program this year. Less concern there. They did come in 9% under the estimate, which is very good to hear.
Wow, very
Those
good.
will be before the board in the next couple board meetings for approval.
And we're getting how much done? Dollar amount?
We're getting just over $1 million worth of asphalt repair.
Outstanding.
Paving throughout the
Nice.
village.
300,000 is from the city.
Right.
How much is from the grant? Sure, I didn't hear. Oh, wow. You know, is there any chance we can put like the areas that are getting done on the website so people will know in advance? I think, are they? Okay. Ah,
Yeah, there's a map.
all right, I did not see that.
Thanks.
Is it under Public Works or is it on the main page?
It's under public works, and I think it's under construction projects.
Hey, Jackie, could you put that on the news feed? Could you just transfer it to the news feed too, so people can see it, you know, they'll get it in their email and stuff, because I had somebody ask about the sidewalks
You know,
too.
save Joe a lot of calls.
Yeah,
The thing is, we have to be careful till we bid the job before we put it.
Right.
Because if.
But it's on there now.
Streets off, we don't wanna get calls, but yeah.
okay, so it's good to put out now?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I have,
Sure.
Mayor, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Harris? Thank you, ma'am. Treasurer Britton?
Nothing, Mr. Mayor?
Deputy Clerk Kalaki?
I have nothing.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Attorney Valdez?
Just that next week, we will be asking you to approve the Jamel Roberson lawsuit settlement agreement. That's all I have.
We'll go to closed session first to talk about it and then come back out and vote?
Yes,
If, okay. All right, thank you, sir. Under my business, I got a couple appointments here. I got the names for the beautification committee, so I will be appointing trustee Killey as the liaison, and I will be appointing Barb Killey, Jean Bartecki, Sandra Olson, and Kathy Ulatowski. That is the beautification committee. And very excited about the events committee, and liaison to the committee's trustee Johnson. And on the committee will be Jason Decker, Debbie Petrizzo, Rich Senert, and Barb Vaughn. Does anyone have any issue with any of those? Hmm? You're gonna make me have a vote on this, aren't you? All right, so at this time, I'm looking for a motion to approve the names I just read for the beautification and events committee to be appointed to those committees.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please. Deputy Clerk.
Trustee Caveny?
Aye.
Trustee Crowley?
Aye.
Trustee Burbitt?
Aye.
Trustee Johnson?
Aye.
Trustee Kiley?
Aye.
Motion carries.
That's all I have tonight. Do you have anything tonight, Deputy? Oh, I already asked you, so I gotta check that off. All right, seeing as no further business coming before the board, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.